Have you ever wondered why, despite eating your homemade cultural foods, you're still gaining weight? It's not what you think, and it's not even genetics as well. Most people think that whenever they're eating homemade foods, they are healthy, but that's not the case. You still see things like diabetes, you still see health issues like obesity, hypertension, and it's simply because of the foods we're eating. In this video, I'm literally going to be explaining the reasons why that is the case. No time wasted. Let's run it. Let's go. Let's go. All right, now I'm not here to attack anyone's culture. I'm just here to pretty much tell you the real enemy regarding cultural foods. Now, one of the problems that I've realized with African foods or Asian foods typically is they are made with a lot of seed oils. Now, these seed oils, if you know anything about fats, fat is caloric dense. And the problem is we load our foods with a lot of these seed oils. Like personally, I can say that I'm Nigerian, and whenever we make things like jollof or whenever we make things like our soups, they are dense. In fact, they are bathed in seed oils. And this is not even only the case for us. This is almost the case for even some other cultures as well. Like there are so many caloric dense things that are just loaded into our foods. And the problem is for you to get lean, you need to be in a caloric deficit. So this is already the number one enemy. The main problem usually is in the preparation and in the ingredients. So the first one really would be the seed oils. It's just way too much. Like maybe you're having a small plate of rice, maybe you're having a small plate of curry. You're pretty much drinking and downing like probably maybe 1,000 calories just because of the presence of a lot of caloric dense seed oils. And now the second problem typically is they are not balanced diets. Typically in African culture, we usually have too much carbs. Like if you look at an average plate, you're gonna probably have 98% rice and probably a small amount of protein or a small amount of eggs or chicken or whatever. And the problem with that is your body does not have sufficient fuel to actually sustain you. Typically a balanced diet is supposed to have carbs, it's supposed to have protein, it's supposed to have fats. And there's a good reason for this. It's because every single one of those meals or every single one of those ingredients, they help you out in your digestion. They help you out in being fuller for longer. Like protein gives you satiety, fats gives you that fullness and that taste and that juiciness. Now, every single thing needs to be balanced. But the problem is for some of these cultures, it has too much carbs. And the problem also with having too much carbs is the reason why there are a lot of diseases like diabetes type 2. And it's simply because our insulin receptors have been so loaded with carbs. Now you start developing insulin resistance. And that in itself is a risk factor to actually developing certain types of diseases like obesity, like diabetes. That's why one of the reasons why when you look at these older people, they are not in shape. They're not in the best kind of shape. And if you want to do what they're doing, fine. I'm not against anybody doing anything. But what I would say is you need to try and make sure that you are very mindful of the preparations of these foods. So now I'm not saying that you should cut out your cultural foods completely. No, I'm not telling you that. What I'm telling you is that you should be mindful that these foods, the preparation sometimes are the problem. The fact that you're not getting enough protein, the portions also is also another thing. When you understand these things, you can easily modify them and you can also just tweak them. I'm realizing that I typically would have them a little bit lesser than I usually would, and I'll prioritize things like eating more protein. So right now I'm like 183 pounds and I try to aim for around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So that would be 183 grams of protein. But typically I'll just like, since I'm eating this much, let's just blast it to 200. So I'll typically try and aim for around 190 or 200 most days. And at the lower end of the spectrum, I would say I try to average at least above 100 grams of protein every single day, at least. That's why I try to, because eating protein, I can't lie, sometimes it can be quite difficult. Now to do this, I would say try to aim around eating 40 to 60 grams of protein every single meal. So such that like if you eat 3 to 4 times, you can easily hit your protein goals. Now, another thing I would say is eat healthy carbs. Now, some of you guys, not just only is your cultural food making you gain weight, you also eat too much rubbish nonsense. I'm not saying cut out the processed foods, but I'm telling you that get them from good carb sources, like your fruits, your vegetables. And the amazing thing about actually eating well is your body will thank you. It always really does. You're going to realize that your skin is going to pop a little bit different. You're going to realize that your energy level is going to be a little bit different. And the interesting thing is, naturally, I feel like the creator knew he had a sweet tooth. So that's the reason why he made fruits. And the vegetables always have low calories, so they will be a good friend. Now, another thing lastly would just be concentrate on having good fats. So healthy fats, like your nuts, your avocados, minced meat, those kind of fat sources where the fat is not outrageous, and cut out them seed oils. Or if you're using seed oils, use them in a very light amount. All right, let's not forget, the goal really with this channel is making you guys become great in every single area. So let's not forget, you need to also be lifting heavy. You need to make sure you're lifting good weights 3 to 4 times every single week. I know despite having a busy routine, it can be quite tasking. However, find a way on how to incorporate that, because the goal is longevity and an energy-filled life. Last but not least, try and get good steps in. Make sure your sleep is dialed in. You cannot be this 1% man. You cannot be this great man and your sleep is cooked. No! Make sure your sleep is dialed in. Your nutrition dialed in. Your sleep dialed in. You already know it. Make sure you're seeking out pain. Trying to become better. Trying to become great. If you're a guy who finds it quite difficult to get that physique you've always really wanted, I'll tell you, I work with guys do that, and I'm confident that I can also help you do the same. Book a call with the link, and I'd love to hear from you. With that said, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys got the clear message that I'm not against any culture. I'm just saying that you should be mindful of certain things. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.